when there are already many diets and programs out. I said the reason why the African binomial balance is so necessary is because when they removed the Africans from Africa, they did not bring our food with us. It's like taking a gorilla from Africa, man, and placing him in a zoo and feeding him carrots and lettuce. Gorillas don't eat carrots nor lettuce. He eats bamboo shoots and berries in the forests of Africa. All of a sudden, because you remove him from his home, put him in a zoo, you're going to feed him what is convenient. And this is the very food that we are eating, a convenient food. The one that is so accessible, the one that is so cheap, but the one that is so devastating that our brothers now are suffering impotence, I said. Our sisters, she suffers impotence too. Oh, don't think that just men suffer impotence. I know women in their 20s don't want to have no sex. Their reproductive organ is so jammed up, they don't even want to think of sex, can't even do it. Why? Because of the food that was removed from us? Yes. The African biomineral balance is necessary because the food that was consistent with us in Africa, we don't even know it now. None of you had know it, including me. What I did with the Usha Institute, what we have done, was to find the plants that contain the amount of electricity that would begin the regeneration of cells and give you energy. So we had to go to the tropics to find those herbs. Because we came from where? We came from the temperate region or the tropics. We came from the tropics. We went to the tropics. Go to the tropics all the time and get these herbs, high in alkali, give them to you. In 5 minutes, you're telling me how good you feel already. Sure. It wasn't that we were wise either doing that. It's just that we made a decision that was consistent cosmically. Don't deviate from the cosmic. The cosmic is God's creation. When you interfere with that, you interfere with your life, not the life of God. God don't care what you eat. You could eat and die. He still live. But if you want to live, you have to be obedient to that particular cosmic arrangement. But we are not doing that. We're eating comfort, thinking it's good. We're eating carrot, it's good. Peppermint. Oh, we drink peppermint tea. Sure, I like peppermint. It's very delicious. It's very good for you. Peppermint is very good for you. For what? I don't know. Because it's artificial. It would freeze your brain. But it says that they have food stores. So what do we do now? So how do you think they see me? I mean, I just came back from England from talking to some people. They were happy. Well, they were happy to see me. In fact, we go into England to open a place. And we would be successful. Why? Because the herbs are the #1 agent of healing in England. Why? Because the Queen says so and she used herbs. But in America, no. In America, the white man made sure you talking about herbs, you go to jail. And if you win the case in jail, you're going to label you as a voodoo man. Do you do voodoo? They ask me the question all the time. It is impossible for a black man to be equitable unless he's indulging in voodoo. Not that he is cosmically sound, not scientific, because I'm not scientific. If I was scientific, I'd come with the chemicals. I'm not that. I'm natural. I'm the man that is sinless. I'm not the only man that realizes that we are not sinful. I know some other people that I've met in my life that knows that they do not have to pray to save their soul from sin or cleanse their soul from sin, because they realize and they know that they were not sinful people and that we did not come from sinful people. We came from godly people. But now, because of the food that we were forced to eat, it changed that whole thing around. And we find ourselves first hating ourselves. I don't like the way I look. I got to change my cheek. I got to change the color of my hair. I need this. I need that. So everything now began to change because the food that we were eating allowed these things to happen, to come into our life. And we began to hate ourselves first, and then the neighbor, and the next one, and the next one, and the next one, and the next one. Because it is impossible for someone to love themselves and hate someone else, because there's no room for that. There could not be any room. I mean, I should know that one also, because when I was in my 20s and my second wife left me, I took a machete. You see, I come from Central America, where we use machete. You guys pick cotton in America. In Latin America, no, we pick bananas. We got a machete, baby. So I'm used to a machete. So I'm going to kill my mother-in-law with a machete. Because I thought that she was responsible for my wife and I breaking up. And nobody could show me the difference. But I couldn't see any difference. Why? Because the meat was helping me to see the stuff. And oh my God, I suffered the greatest embarrassment of my life. Because 7 years later, I was healed. Because when Melvin left me, I decided to see the healer approximately a year later. And by the second year of my life, I was just as virile. I lost 89 pounds. And I was feeling good, and I was looking good, and I felt so healthy, I felt so good. So I sit quietly one day, and who came to my thoughts? Clara. Why Clara? Because Clara is the name of my mother-in-law, the one that I wanted to kill, the one that if I get hold of that one, I'd chop an leg off, at least, or an ear. At least I'd bite an ear off, you know, I had to get something. So after these 7 years had gone by, I thought about Clara. And then I thought about her birthday. And I bought a television. An Emerson television. I seen it. And I took to her. And she looked at me at the door. She said, "What's wrong with you?" I said, "Well, I don't know. Something happened." Then she looked at me. She said, "You lost weight." And I said, "Yes." "Well, your wife was married." I said, "Well, that's fine. I'm glad that she's married. I hope that she's doing well." This man has changed here. "Are you all right?" I said, "Yes." "You look different." I said, "Well, I told the story about the men who came in Mexico." I said, "But to cut a long story short," I said, "Here's a television. I want you to have. I want you to have this. This is your birthday. I know it's your birthday today." And we both cried. Because, see, disease, how you doing some stupidity. Like living in a house with the same woman and not speak to her for 17 years. I know cases like that. Disease, that's that. It happened right in the West Indies. I paid a man to live in the same with his wife for 17 years, did not say a word to her. But as soon as his diabetes left and his penis started getting hard and his back wasn't hurting, he tells me, he said, "Hey, go knock on that window and tell that lady that I love her." I said, "Charles, you did not hire me to go and mediate between you and your wife. You hired me to heal your body." I said, "Look, man, I want you to do me a favor. Go tell the woman I love her because she lived there, you know, he run the story down to me. But it was his disease, wasn't it, woman?" He said, "Tell you what, I'll go with you." And we both go together. So I went together, Charles, and I knocked on the woman's door. And she opened it half. You know, it was a door that opened, you know, these doors that open. Dutch door. Yes, one half and other half. She opened the top half. She said, "Hi." But when she opened the top half, he was behind it. But she didn't know. So I'm standing there. She said, "Hi." I said, "Hi." But I've been going to the house for 6 months, dealing with this man. I've not seen this woman. I have not seen this woman. She says, "Oh, I know who you are." Like all women, they know everything, and which is a fact. That's not saying it facetiously. Woman knows everything. We men think you guys don't know, but that's a lie. I know different. Woman knows everything. So this woman said to me, "I know who you are. You're that healer that come from St. Croix." I said, "Yes, ma'am." "Well, I tell you what, Charles is doing good, and I know he's doing good because he's in the yard, he's watering the lawn, he's doing this, he's doing that, and he looks good." I said, "Man, Charles is standing right behind this window." "Oh, he has something to tell you." "Oh, yeah?" Like a woman, she came out and stood right in front of Charles. "Hi, Charles. Been 17 years you spoke to me, Charles. How come today?" I said, "Oh, God." I mean, that kind of punishment I don't want. I don't ever want a woman to talk to me like that. I mean, that's embarrassment. That's utter embarrassment. He said, he played with his fingers, and she's standing there. "Well," "Well, I just want to tell you that I love you." "Well, I know that. You were just sick, boy." Hey, she hugged him. I mean, this was the most beautiful thing that I've seen in my healing journey. Because he then told me, "I want you to heal her because she has some very close